Alright, now we're going to talk about AI principles and responsible AI because I feel that for all customers, we should have some stand on what sort of how do we want to deploy AI, because it seems so macam semua orang nak pakai, tapi people tak faham the potential damage. So this is why I now share some of the ideas and principles behind when you want to buy AI project, apa you kena fikir, and I will share some of the incidences that kita ada.
Baik.
Boleh tolong mute kan kalau siapa yang bukan speaker. Boleh tolong Okay, terima kasih. Okay, now so these are some of the things that kita nak touch on. Why do we need responsible AI? And then what is the decision when you want a project that impacts your AI? And then I want to share a little bit about AI principles in Google. Why I'm very comfortable to share with this is because I datang dari Google. Memang when I dapat request from customer to buat AI project, I kena go through a process to see whether Google will support this project atau kita boleh share our technology with this customer tak. And then if it violates any of the principle that Google kata tak boleh support, later I'm going to share, then after that, that's where I will have to reject the customer. Even though I nak tolong customer tetapi tak boleh Okay, so I'm going to share some of the principles and why I think that is very important for us to understand. And especially kalau you all are familiar with the AI Act in Europe, which I'm going to share later on. What is the meaning of AI Act in Europe? And I think we should think about it seriously kat Malaysia. Now, Malaysia pun ada publish yang some AI punya framework guideline Okay, boleh. Sekarang chatbot dia pandai boleh generate kan. Dulu kita kena buat programming. Sekarang you boleh ask it to generate. So that is the beauty of generative AI, Gen AI. And then we're going to talk about how do we want to do responsible AI when we create a project. Now semua orang dengar. So this is the topic. I will skip quickly. Banyak slide. Now AI ni, especially Gen AI, semua orang pakai. Semua orang pernah pakai ChatGPT. Ada orang pakai Gemini tak? Gemini dengan Bard. Tak pernah dengar. Nah, selalunya sekarang kita nak buat apa-apa, kita tanya saja write a reply. Kalau you pakai Google Workspace, Gmail you akan nampak dia ada smart reply. Tapi AI ni, Gen AI is one step further. Kalau you nak tulis, kalau you ada Gen AI dalam Gmail you boleh kata, I nak write resignation letter. I nak write application letter. I nak write apa-apa pun. Help me write. So, I pernah ask Gemini to tolong saya write a job description for a person I want to hire. Because I nak post kat LinkedIn, I want to hire a certain person, tapi I tak tahu how to write dia punya job description. I minta pertolongan Gen AI. So, these are some of the things that kita really use AI for as a layman. So, all of us pernah pakai kalau nak generate apa-apa. Of course, there are some people yang smart dia akan go one level further. So this is talking about how Gen AI has actually changed our lives. Betul tak? Waze. Ini traffic tu. Siapa tak pakai Waze? So just share with you, Malaysia, I think kita buat survey kat Google. Malaysia is the number 4 top user of Waze in the world. Negara, when you talk of percentage, not the population, because kita macam population not that besar, tetapi the percentage of people yang pakai Waze tu number 4 in the world, because selalu traffic jam, right? I tiap-tiap hari datang kerja, balik rumah pun I pakai. How is the traffic to work today? I nak pergi mana-mana. Sometimes I plan the day before. Besok pagi, what time should I wake up and what time should I leave my office kalau I nak pergi ke customer place. So Gen AI is very really part of our lives today. Now, but what of the problem that I nak share ialah AI ni is not infallible. So it means that it can fail us. Betul? Like say for example, I think I tak tahu whether you all ever heard this one. Fraudster using AI to mimic a CEO punya voice. Now, there was a cybercrime punya session that the PDRM buat untuk Awan Tech. So in China, they are so advanced. Dia boleh buat fake punya, they use the macam generate voice and picture of a person that you know. So when you buat the video call, they buat video call to somebody ya, tapi dia muka suara macam anak dia. So the anak ask the mother to bagi dia duit for something. So the mother saw right, gambar, that means the face, the voice macam anak dia. Dia tak check ya, whether this is really their anak ya. So they just buat lah. Then later on dia kata a bit pelik lah. So they panggil the daughter balik ya, video call. And the daughter say, I never call you. This is the kind but anyway, the other one is facial recognition. Pernah tak you pergi building dia tangkap gambar you. And when you go through custom, when you masuk custom lah, clear immigration, semua orang tangkap gambar muka you. What are they going to do with your muka? Ada pernah tanya tak? So that was one day I pergi satu building kat Bangsa, UOA. Dia use the picture, your face, they capture your face at registration and at the gate. So they akan match. Tapi I kata, mengapa you nak pakai muka saya? Now, people can take advantage, right? They take your picture. Tapi one of the things that you jangan pakai, or it is dangerous to pakai, kalau the facial recognition is used to identify a criminal. Let's say for example, muka saya mungkin common. Ramai orang muka macam saya, that means the face quite similar. Kalau you tak ada human intervention and you just pakai AI saja, dia match. Oh, ini macam ABC orang. Dia tak tahu this is whiting. Mungkin this is Aisyah. Yeah? So Aisyah tu is wanted for some case ya, mungkin dia jual firearm ke Israeli punya spy ke whatever. Tapi muka similar. Wah, when they nampak saya masuk apa-apa, terus tangkap saya. Yeah? Because they use AI to do facial recognition. Because they trust the facial recognition. Yeah? Now, the other one of course is the AI buat salah order. Yeah? Ataupun dia, remember self-driving car? You believe tak self-driving car? I masih tak percaya. Why? Kita punya internet tak reliable ya. You pandu-pandu suddenly okay? Tak ada signal. Number two, map tak betul. Malaysia suka close road kat sini, dig satu hole kat sini ya. Kalau you ikut saja the AI, nanti you drive into some pond ya, ataupun apa-apa. So anyway, so AI will fail. And I'm going to share with you mengapa AI akan fail and where are the cases where kita kena be a bit more responsible when we train the AI. Remember, AI belajar. Ya? AI is macam your anak, anak kecil. Whatever you teach the AI, dia akan believe what you teach the AI. Kalau you bagi dia data salah, dia akan belajar data yang salah. Betul tak? Yeah. So that can be facts. Let's say for example, kalau you kata the earth is flat. Kalau dia belajar dari kecil, mama, papa kata earth is flat. Kalau cikgu kata earth is round, dia tak percaya. Yeah? So this is how AI is. Dia train on data. Yeah? And I'll talk about how we train AI responsibly. Yeah? So this is just example that AI may give you the wrong answers. Yeah? So jangan percaya 100%. Yeah? So kat internet, kalau you pakai AI untuk buat apa-apa, jangan percaya 100% output dia. Because dia masih belajar, dia masih infant ya. Tapi dia belajar faster than you lah. Okay. Bila tua lah. Now, remember, AI tu is built by human ya. So it's as good as the human that teach the AI. Now, of course, there is a part where kita kena collect all the data, then we design the AI, kita build, kita deploy, then kita apply ya. So this is how AI is built by human. Tapi there are some fault because human pun ada limitation dia ya. So we will talk a little bit about that. Okay. Now, people when they make decision is based on their own value. I akan ceritakan satu cerita yang actually it's my own bias ya. Now, whenever we think about, I have a colleague that beritahu saya about the tenants that live in his condo ya. Dia kata, condo saya ramai orang datang dari Afrika. Orang ni suka minum, buat kecoh kat car park, and then also saw his wife, suka dia punya wife. Tunggu dia punya wife at the car park. So in my mind, right, suddenly I kata, wah, semua orang yang datang dari Afrika orang jahat. You know what I mean? This is a bias. Dia bukan, this unconsciously you think, wah, I akan takut orang ni. Dia kata dia tinggi-tinggi, dia boleh lawan, tumbuk you habis. Yeah? So one day, I masuk lift dalam office saya. And inside the lift was someone from Africa. Dia tu sangat tinggi. I sampai dia punya waist saja. Dia sangat tinggi and kurus. When I went in, right, dia nampak muka saya. Muka saya macam, So, macam like, I got like scared, no. Then he laughed, you know. Dia smile. Dia kata, then he spoke to me lah. He said, I'm sorry if I frightened you, yeah. So this is my bias, yeah. So every time when kita buat collect data, kita buat decision, kita ada value sendiri ya that kita masukkan. We want to make sure when you are collecting this data and training the AI ya, you jangan put in your own bias. Try not to avoid you punya bias on the data itself. Now, when you buat survey, right? I know some of you love to buat survey and you like to read about survey. Tapi survey about something, normally the population you buat survey tu sangat kecil. So the data that you collect through survey is never good enough to train the AI. So this is something that I need to kind of like highlight here. But anyway, people always make decisions. So that's why sometimes AI is a bit better than human, because kalau AI tak ada bias, decision dia is more clear, more transparent. Yeah, human buat decision based on their punya value. Yeah, this is a human problem. Yeah, okay. Now, so when you actually want to do AI project, you know that there are many things that you need to consider and evaluate to make sure that your choice is made responsibility on the type of data ataupun the system that you nak build, yeah. And this is why we have this session today, yeah. So apakah ethics for AI? Now, ethics tu bukan law, ya, and dia bukan policy. And every country is baru saja nak adopt AI. And they are trying to make laws and framework and policy around AI. Ya. Tetapi all this should be driven by certain ethics that kita nak, that means we want to adopt or we want to use as the basis for what law ke, policy ke, framework. Ya. So what is ethics? Ya? So ethics is for AI ialah apa yang kita should do. Ya. And things that, for example, they can blame us kalau kita tak buat. Let's say, for example, kalau kita buat AI, kita tak train the AI properly with the complete data, with biased data, people can blame us, yeah? We didn't do the full testing. Remember, there ada satu cerita about Google, dia generate the AI punya images of people in history, dia black ke, dia Asian ke, dia whatever, right? It is not correct in history. So a lot of people blame. So internally Google tahu dia tak train the AI properly ataupun dia, because Google ni dia sangat inclusive. You tak boleh kata have bias against people based on their color, race, whether they are married, not married, dia ada anak, tak ada anak, dia tua, dia muda. Dia macam this is their principle. Tetapi this principle jadi masalah untuk dia when they do AI. Because dia nak jadi sangat inklusif. Now, kalau jadi sangat inklusif, some of the data tak betul. Because you know that macam dulu, orang yang mungkin during Nazi time, dia semua orang putih, orang Jerman, blue eyes, blonde hair. Because itu yang Adolf Hitler nak create that superior race, ya. Tapi kalau you masukkan inclusion, so suddenly you ada Nazi soldier yang ada rambut hitam, dia colored person, you know, that kind of thing. So that is to blame is kita tak buat something that we should buat. For example, train the AI properly. Yeah? And then ethics for AI is that whenever AI kita nak buat AI project ke adopt AI, it must be because kita nak flourish together as a community. Yeah? Dia mesti benefit community. Yeah? Bukan pinpoint people. That means get people into, I won't say get people into trouble, tetapi it should be beneficial to humankind, yeah? In general. It cannot be something that is destructive. So that's why I'm going to share with you later the principles of AI. Apa yang penting kita nak think. So these are some of the ethics. That means AI, when you do it, apa yang kita perlu buat, apa yang kita perlu buat. Kalau kita tak buat, people boleh blame us. Of course, we won't get arrested for it lah. Tetapi people can say you tak buat something, yeah, and also to benefit humankind, yeah. Okay. Now, when you talk about AI, yeah, you kena buat focus on the outcome. Apa akan terjadi? Now, I'm going to give you an example, yeah. And this is something that I heard recently. There ada satu country, ya. Kalau sekarang you apply visa nak masuk, sangat susah. Okay. Banyak country macam tu, you want to apply for visa, it's very easy for them to reject your visa. Why? Dia pakai AI. Okay. Dia tak ada human. You see, dulu when you apply your visa form, dia akan scan, right, your information. Ada human yang buat decision. So mungkin ada perkataan yang tak betul sangat ke, I mean, it's something that is biased, tetapi actually when the human look at the rest of the data, dia kata, okay, you boleh masuk, ya, that country, I akan bagi you visa. There is one country, they adopt AI to reject visa. So, dia macam kata, they look for keywords. So, they train the AI to filter through all the visa and straight away reject if they see certain information. So that's why the percentage of rejection now is very high. So nanti I actually tanya orang yang tolong buat implementation tu. I say, then how? Do they have a human intervention to check that this rejection is really memang a rejection? Dia kata, dia tak ada. Huh? Which means that 80% of the people tak boleh masuk country tu. I say, kalau country tu, dia controversial, ya. That means the outcome is not letting the right people masuk that country. Tapi the intention is, I want to filter out all the terrorists lah, people yang akan, we call it jump the aeroplane. Okay, Chinese kata jump aeroplane. That means dia masuk, dia pergi sana, dia nak kerja kat sana, dia nak tinggal di country tu, dia nak hide, do illegal work semua tu. Their intention at first was that. Tetapi the outcome was that valid user kena rejected. Yeah. So let's focus on apa kita nak buat. So the intention is kita nak orang yang memang kita nak dia masuk country tu as a visitor to be able to visit without problem. And of course at the same time kita nak filter people that kita tak nak lah. Yeah. So focus on what is the outcome that you nak dapat rather than the intention. So it could be identifying terrorists. This is one of the most common use case for AI, identify terrorists. They have been doing that for a long time. Dulu dia nampak dari nama. That's why for orang Malaysia, sometimes to get US visa sangat susah. The country that I mentioned is not US. It's another country. Okay. But I was very shocked when I heard that. I said, you macam buat AI, you trust the AI so much, so valid user tak boleh masuk. I pun tak nak pergi country tu, I rasa. Yeah? Okay. So, responsible AI is because, as mentioned, just that it is the principles is to guide an AI design so that it's beneficial for the people, ya. Bukan, it is the right thing to do. Betul, kita tak nak orang jahat masuk country kami, tetapi it must be used, then we must put steps in the way lah to make sure that they betul, ya. Okay. And then kita tak block people yang genuine, yeah. Okay. So these are some of the things that, for example, so what does it mean? So when you put project, you cannot understand project ni, what are the possible issue that you akan face, yeah. Limitation of the AI, yeah. AI bukan pandai, okay. Semua orang kata lah boleh replace orang lah semua tu. For certain jobs, yes, mungkin dia boleh replace, but all AI ada limitation dia. So kita kena tahu apakah limitation dia ataupun unintended consequences. Macam tangkap orang yang salah because muka dia sama dengan muka orang yang people are looking for. Let's say this person is on Interpol punya list. Muka dia very like the person, yeah. So then the person get flagged. So dia buat orang tu susah and all that stuff. So it's unintended because dia buat or they generate something wrong. Let's say generate wrong information. Let's say I give an example. Kalau you nak buat education, ini memang sangat penting, ya. So a lot of people dia nak buat AI is to help to get the material ataupun generate material to teach the student. Tetapi sometimes kalau data yang you pakai tak betul, tak ada orang check, ya. Kita tak buat what we call prompt engineering correctly. Dia ada satu konsep called prompt engineering. kalau you nak tahu, prompt engineering is really like how do you word your question so that the AI belajar or find the right information for you. So it is a very interesting method to train the AI. So let's say for example, kalau you just let the AI buat recommendation on the person. Now mungkin a person, right, a student, mungkin tahun ini dia suka something, tahun depan dia suka something else, because children dia akan change their minds very quickly, right? Because dia tak tahu apa dia nak buat, or maybe they're good in everything. So maybe kita akan guide them on the wrong path, because some student, right, dia muda datang dia tak pandai belajar. Dia macam dia malas nak buat homework semua tu, and you feel that I nak hantar dia ke vocational school because dia tak pandai belajar. It's not that dia tak pandai belajar, because they are too smart, dia lazy. So macam saya ada niece lah, and one neighbor, dia punya classmate, two of them is very smart, tetapi dia sangat lazy. Dia macam challenge the teacher all the time. So the teacher macam put them in the last class because dia jangan naughty, because they macam always challenge the teacher, tak buat homework. Actually dia memang sangat pandai, Tapi kalau you use those information to buat evaluation on the student, mungkin you ada unintended consequences, because you buat AI, tak ada cikgu yang betul-betul talk to the student, understand the student punya motivation. Ada unintended consequence, you may have spoiled the person's life forever, Okay, so macam tu. Now, so all organization, they akan develop or starting to develop their own AI principle of what they want to build when they build AI product. Now, semua orang pun nak kata, I nak ingest AI into my product. Tetapi, what is the benefit of that? So, kita kena ada principle. Now, some of the principles have to be around a few things. Transparency. How does the AI come into that conclusion? Second, is it fair? Ada bias tak? Data do you cover everything? Accountability. That means kalau buat salah, what are the things that you kena take responsibility, ataupun you need to be accountable for the decisions made by the AI, because every decision you make in life pun you kena accountable for, right? Whatever you made 20 years ago, the jalan that you pilih. For example, I chose to study computer science, so I have to live with that decision. And if I fail in my career, right, it was the decision I made like when I belajar, right, because I chose to do it. I would tell you that I tak pandai computer when I was in school. I didn't like computers because I was more on an arts person. I suka tulis, I suka jadi journalist. Tapi I don't know why I pilih computer science. I'm still here. So depends. But I'm accountable for my own life because I chose that decision. Now the other one is privacy. When you are training AI, you have to be careful to protect the data that you are using. For example, kalau you are training for healthcare, you are training to understand macam glaucoma ke cancer ke, the health related, the patient's privacy need to be protected, because a lot of people kata, I have all this raw data. So when you examine the raw data, you kena ada method to make sure that data doesn't contain anything that can point to a person, because it's privacy, because you don't want your medical data to be exposed to everyone, knowing that it's you. Let's say for example, my medical data. Kalau kita buat medical data, tetapi dia tak boleh pinpoint this is Whiting's medical data, ke this is Ain's medical data, ke this is Hani punya medical data, that is okay, because that data is removed from the data, because we want to use AI to help us identify, let's say, tumors early ke, ataupun potential for something, So kita nak identify early because we want to save more lives. Tetapi privacy is very important, and kita kena fikir. Now, this is the same kalau you are in the commercial, kalau you retail. Do you feel like you are being macam got big brother watch you when you bought shopping, right? Or you pergi website, and then suddenly all the advertisement that keluar, right, is all about something that you were looking at, and they know, no matter whether you pakai device yang sama, device yang lain, macam dia tahu what you have been doing. Nowadays they're also adopting AI to actually understand the buying behavior, because they not you believe more things. So this is something that they now ingest AI into understanding the person's buying behavior, ataupun and so on. So it's also privacy. So you also takut juga, Dia pakai data saya buat apa? Is this data exposed to third party? Vendor ataupun who does it benefit? So these are some of the things that kalau kita ada product, we need to give customer the assurance that kita tak pakai dia punya data for other things other than what we have told them. So this is why, so I jumped the gun a little bit about consent management. You realize that some of the product, right, they akan ask you consent. And kalau you pergi, let's say, you go and see doctor, right, they akan ask you to sign a lot of things. I consent to share this data. Ataupun on the website, I consent to share this data. Yeah. Now, consent is very important in terms of what people are going to do with your data. And it's not just AI. Yeah. Apa-apa dia buat, analytics ke, sama juga. But you sign away your privacy juga, because you sign say I consent. Tetapi by signing that consent, whoever asks you to sign to, they can only use that data for that purpose. Dia tak boleh pakai you punya data for other purpose. Okay, that's important. The worst case is that you tak bagi dia chance to buat consent. Itu system you kena reject, So as you develop all this system, yang especially pakai AI punya, you need to get consent from the person that you're collecting the data from. Because they need to know what are you doing with their personal data, and you say that I need your help to help train the AI model. So dulu when I was in Google, dia pun tanya all the Google staff, you boleh tolong to help train our AI. So we actually signed the consent to say that whatever we do, we are willing to share this information so that the AI boleh belajar from our movement ataupun our work. So these are some of the things that you kena fikir. These are some of the things that you kena embed into your system, so that you ada transparency, then you ada protect your user punya privacy. So very, very important. Okay, tak tahu ada orang pernah dengar about the AI Act. Now, Europe is the first country that brought framework to say that how do you release a product, that means a solution that falls under one of these categories. For example, there are the category minimal risk kalau you pakai AI, limited risk, high risk, unacceptable risk. That means you tak boleh pakai AI untuk some of this. I will tell you that in many countries, all these framework, they violate. Let me go to the website. I will share that website with you so that I just want to talk a little bit, because I find that this is something that maybe Malaysia akan adopt, but we must be aware of it. Tak tahu dia akan adopt. Now, all the AI companies sekarang all also tak suka, because it means that it is slower to push out their product. So let me just go to here and then I will share this tab. Now, boleh tengok ya? Okay. So this is the framework that they introduced and they're going to pass it. Now, what is considered, so AI, they consider AI is a threat to safety and livelihood. So that's why they want to have a framework. So what is AI punya high risk? AI high risk is when it is critical infrastructure, like transport, that can put the health and life of citizens at risk. Macam self-driving, whatever lah, transportation. Now, the other one is scoring of exams. High risk. For example, who has access and how we want to groom a person. I know that MOE, MOHC, university, dia suka ini. Tetapi you must know that this is considered high risk because you are determining the life of the person in the future. Scoring exam pun. Right? Of course, scoring of exam, if it is objective, okay lah. Tapi kalau dia subjective, you tulis and you use AI to buat, is considered high risk. Now, high risk doesn't mean that you tak boleh buat, tetapi you have to do more things. That's what the act is about. The other one is safety. Macam robot assisted surgery is considered high risk. Employment, CV sorting for recruitment is considered high risk. Ramai orang sekarang pakai AI to do CV scoring. So when you write your CV, a lot of people pandai. Actually, dulu pun macam ni. Now it's worse. You kena tulis all the right words in your CV so that your CV will get picked up. Okay? The other one, credit scoring. Kalau you pakai AI to determine whether a person is eligible to dapat a loan. That's considered high risk. I'm not saying that you tak boleh buat, tapi this is considered high risk. Law enforcement, reliability of evidence. For example, the gambar orang as I mentioned, yeah. The other one, examination of visa application. Just now the example that I give you already violated, yeah. Tourist visa, they nak use AI saja to scan. Actually, AI should be augmenting the human, yeah, to tolong you cepatkan, bukan to replace the human, yeah. Of course, the other one is for justice, macam search court rulings. I know that there is also a system out there that nak cari use previous cases. Yes, dia boleh tolong you, but this should be augmented, yeah, bukan replacement. Now, so what happens is that high risk tu kena ada risk assessment, ada mitigation. The quality of the data must be high quality to minimize risk and discriminate. Dia tak kata you tak boleh implement, ya. That means that this one you kena ada more measure, ya. For example, accountability, traceability, semua tu, ya. Now let's look at limited risk. So anything to do with biometric, sekarang semua orang suka inward KYC, ya. Actually it's considered high risk, ya. If they use it in terms of AI solution, yeah. Now let's look at limited risk. Apa dia limited risk, yeah? Limited risk is that there are risks if it is not transparent, yeah. For example, chatbot. So you must be able not to lie to the person that they're talking to a human. That means you don't generate AI and pretend the AI chatbot is actually a human. You must tell them that they're actually talking to a chatbot, yeah. That means a generated AI lah image. That means the person is talking to you, tapi it's not a real human, yeah. The other one is that the AI generated content is identifiable. Now, one of my friends actually asked me. She's a teacher. Then she asked me, how do you detect if people pakai Gen AI to generate content? Then I like mengang sikit lah. I said, She says when it's too perfect. Now she's an English teacher in Thailand, so she said that when she see her student punya work, right, normally they will make some grammar mistakes semua tu. Tapi kalau the answers are too perfect, she knows that it's a Gen AI. But that is a human punya thing. But let's say, for example, any AI generated content should be identified as AI generated content. Jangan tipu orang yang kata that this human yang buat. I know a lot of people, they pass off generated content as human content. Tetapi you kena buat this part. Now, I have seen actually some website, dia kata they generate news articles using AI. That means ada journalist yang tulis. They cari the topic, then they generate. So they actually put that disclaimer. This article is written by AI. Yeah? Okay. Now, minimal and no thing is that, for example, AI-enabled video games. Doesn't harm anybody, right? Let's say you ada the role play lah semua tu. Spam filters, kalau you pakai AI untuk buat spam filter, is considered minimum and no risk because it doesn't endanger anyone. Yeah. So these are some of the things. If you want, you can actually look at like how they're going to do it and all that. So this is just some of the things that I wanted to share to say that really kita kena be a bit more conscious that we. Sorry, I balik kat sini. Let me continue. Oops, sorry, wrong slide. Yeah, okay. Share this tab, yeah. Okay, so do read up. This is the link. Kalau you nak tangkap the link, maybe we can later we can share with the link. So you just learn about the AI framework that is being implemented in Europe, and a lot of the vendors now are getting ready to do this. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let me do this, yeah. Okay, let me forward the slide, yeah. So let's talk about Google AI, yeah. So this is a bit of a sales thing about Google, but I thought that is very, very interesting. So dulu I ada buat satu quiz to kata what AI principle am I? I can't remember what I was lah. But anyway, so Google when they first adopted AI, so Google bukan new to AI, ya. Dia dah lama buat, tapi now it's getting more sophisticated. They want to make sure that all AI punya application is built for everyone and does not discount anyone. Yeah, it is accountable and safe. It will respect the privacy and it is supported by scientific excellence. Yeah, so these are some of the things that this is the commitment that they want. This is not the principle. Yeah, nanti I share the principle, which is actually quite interesting. Yeah, okay. Dia ada 7. areas and objective dalam AI principle, and you may want to adopt some of this. 4 area that dia tak akan pursue. That means I'll reject. So I ada problem juga. So when I'm actually proposing, and even now as in Awan Tech, right? When I want to use AI for customer project, I kena ikut juga. Because Google still need to give me the approval to implement this AI solution for my customer. Yeah. So I will share with you apakah objective dan apakah 4 area that dia tak akan support. Yeah. Okay. Now, principle. There must be, these are the 7, yeah. They must be socially beneficial, yeah. Okay. They should avoid creating bias, as I mentioned, or reinforcing unfair bias. Now, it should be built and tested for safety. That means if other, make sure that the outcome is safe, yeah. Be accountable to people. Incorporate privacy design and principles. Uphold the standards of scientific excellence. Be made available for users that accord with this principle. Yeah. So what is important is that if the solution that you not develop using Google AI technology meets the 6 principle, it will be made available to you. Google cannot deny you to use AI if you meet all the criteria. Not all the criteria, but you follow the principle, dia cannot reject and say, you tak boleh pakai AI saya. Ya, tak ada tu. So that's why they ada satu committee. Dulu dia ada nama untuk committee tu. That one's an internal name. Tapi every time we want to propose AI project, kita kena go through this evaluation by Google to say whether kita boleh adopt this. So one incident that I dapat ialah 2 years ago, a customer came to me and said that dia nak use AI from Google to buat something. Now this customer, dia ada a yacht. That means their yacht is a junk yacht. Now you'll be surprised, a junk yacht ada banyak valuable things. So dia takut, right? Even though they mount the cameras around the peripheral, they also have people walking in and out of the junk yacht, which is supposed to be authorized user. That means these are people who got approval to walk around, tetapi mungkin dia akan commit the crime. So they nak monitor the movement of the person, and they also want us to identify, to match who this person is. That means kalau you nampak this person behaving very suspiciously, kena identify who is this person and name the person. So when they ask us, yes, we can follow the person around and alert you that the person is buat something movement yang suspicious. Tetapi when it came to identify the person's name, that means I identify this is Whiting wandering around in the junk yacht, trying to like macam nak curi something, yeah, and this is Whiting. Now itu tak boleh, which is kind of weird. So when kita ada project ni kena rejected, yeah. Dia kata, you can only stop at tracing the person's movement, tapi you tak boleh pakai teknologi Google AI untuk identify and name the person. Yeah, because you are creating that means you identify wrong person, you are enforcing unfair bias here, or you're arresting somebody wrongly because this person happened to look like another person. Yeah. Okay. So this is the 7 principles. So this is the one that I mentioned before. So these are some examples. Yeah. So for example, socially beneficial is predict future development of melanomas in patients. So this is for healthcare. Yeah. So you want to be able that, and this is a socially beneficial thing. So yes, we will support this. Yeah. Now the second one is a bit iffy. Yeah. For example, recommendation engines is just online skills. Now this is good kalau dia buat suggestion. Tetapi the final decision is still human, ya. Jangan biarkan AI buat recommendation for your staff and no human check. Betul tak betul? Now, so this is the step that kita kata, yes, it must be socially beneficial, tapi mesti ada check, ya, check and balance. Now, the other, which is socially beneficial, a drone guidance system that drops emergency aid in disaster site. Is this a good thing? Of course, yeah. So this is a good solution that you boleh pakai. Now, kalau you the other round, kalau you pakai drone tetapi dia drop bomb ataupun apa-apa yang not good, itu no ya. Yes, the drone is emergency tetapi you buat harm to people, so not allowed ya, macam tu. So you have to look at the how your application is going to beneficial and where you boleh buat checkpoint. Remember I kata, some of the systems are high risk. So kalau they're high risk, you kena ada more checks. Now, airdrop the aid to disaster site is considered no risk, betul? Because yes, you kena drop the thing at the right place. Tetapi dia tak, okay lah, jangan drop on somebody's head lah, betul? Itu saja. So those are some of things that you have to test for safety, ya. So you must make sure that when you drop, area tu tak ada orang, ya, they empty area. Ataupun you buat warning dulu, jangan go to this place. We are dropping all this aid. Nanti you datang collect the aid. Yeah. Now the next one is avoiding create and force fires. Now what does it mean? Now for example, if the tag exists or makes, this is the difference here. Making or exist criminal justice decision. Jangan biarkan tag tolong make criminal justice decision. Tak ada human intervention. Tetapi kalau they exist. Now exist pun dangerous, ya. Because exist mungkin ada bias. Because mungkin case ni tak ada ataupun okay. But that's why testing is important because I think this is a very good question. Betul. Did you drop the aid to the wrong side of the boundary? Okay lah. Other country yang ada conflict, right? You want to make sure you drop it in the right zone and not drop it in the wrong zone. Betul. So this is where you need to collect information about the area, kan? So you need to identify the correct area where you are supposed. That means maybe you want to recognize building ke, landmarks ke. So these are some of the AI things that you can use to identify the correct area for you to drop. So it's not just the drone, but you must make sure that the area is what you think it is and not some fake area, yeah? Okay. These are some of the things that AI can help you. Now, criminal justice. So the next one is hiring algorithm. Now, kalau kita hire people based on AI, yes, it can help us filter candidate yang tak betul, tetapi you may also miss out on candidate yang baik tetapi tak pandai buat CV. Ada tak? Ada ke? Tak pandai buat CV, tak pandai tulis. Ada banyak candidate that I pernah jumpa. Dia copy CV orang lain. I pernah jumpa pun. One of my ex-colleague, dia pernah jumpa candidate that copy dia punya CV. You know, he was so shocked. Dia nampak CV that submitted by this person was actually his own CV. That means the hiring manager punya CV. Okay. Kalau you nak check tu, best. Yeah. So that one AI boleh tolong. Let's say for example plagiarism and things like that. Yeah. Okay. The other one is a machine learning driven AI designed to flag abusive, offensive, and hate speech. Now this is good because you use AI to make sure that people don't use the abusive words. Kalau there are other abusive words, you nak filter from email ke, from website ke, from video ke, whatever. Yeah. So those are things that don't create misunderstanding. For example, kalau you nak buat boycott, okay lah, this one cerita lama, right? Boycott. Dulu kita kata boycott apa-apa yang datang dari people who from this brand, yeah. So sometimes these are considered macam not abusive, but they also trigger other things. Of course, there is a logic where you kata boycott lah. Tetapi the way they put it, yeah, could be more neutral, yeah. Or kalau dia kata, oh, you know, people, I will tell you that orang Cina is the most racist race. Unfortunately, although I'm Chinese, I believe Chinese sangat racist juga. Yeah, dia call everybody hantu, you know. Kalau you tahu Chinese, dia call everybody, they end the word with hantu. I tak tahu why. So masalah pun, masalah hantu, except Chinese is a human. Okay. So I'm embarrassed lah. Tapi ini ialah memang language dia macam tu. Tetapi there are certain things hate language kita nak filter so that it doesn't appear and it doesn't go viral, yeah. Because it will spread misunderstanding. So this is important. Kita boleh pakai AI to avoid some of this. It is a good practice, yeah. Okay. And not create, yeah. Build for safety. So for example, what is a better way to make sure that kita ada better power? Yeah, power grid. The other one is, for example, an AI agent that routes calls to emergency dispatch. Now, this is a bit dangerous. Now, kalau AI tu tak pandai, dia route wrongly, mungkin it's a prank call. But you also want to make sure that they boleh filter prank call, for example. So that's why this one needs to be built and tested for safety. Because kalau you route the wrong call, then that fire engine ke, that ambulance is routed to the wrong place, and the person that perlu that service tak dapat. Betul tak? Yeah. So these are some of the things. And of course, the other one is predict jet engine failure. It's very important that it is built and testing for safety. Jangan bagi false alarm on certain thing. Now, sometimes false alarm kita pun boleh buat visual checking, right? Whether this potential, but at least dia boleh flag so that kita boleh check, yeah. So those are things that kita kata we need to build more algorithm. Now, sometimes they give the wrong positive. Macam dia shut down something because they suspect that it is going haywire. Now, shutting it down tapi kita save lives is okay. It's just inconvenience. Kita kena tunggu for the thing to be fixed. Tetapi kalau kita tak buat properly, kita predict salah. That means we didn't see that it's going to fail. Human lives might be impacted. Yeah. Okay. Now, the other one is accountable. Yeah. Now, recommendation, as I mentioned before. For example, making full automated decision without consent, explanation, or right of appeal. Visa application, credit card, loan. You tak bagi orang chance to appeal. Let's say visa. Many countries, you apply visa, they reject, you tak boleh appeal. And these people, so you have to be accountable. Kalau you reject, you must have a way of telling how they can appeal ataupun explain why they were rejected. Betul? Yeah. So, or even loan or credit card. Now, the other one is that you must not always lie to people, kata that this is a human when it is a bot. Now, there are many things that's happening now. Ada singer lah, ada macam-macam, yeah. They generate the AI, I would say the avatar, right? It's so real that you tak tahu whether they human tak. Okay. The other one, biometric. Tak ada introduced without your consent, notice, or opt out. The problem is that semua sistem sekarang kena kita buat EKYC. Apa dia buat dengan tu? Let's say for example let's say dia kata I need you to implement that, otherwise you tak dapat bantuan. It is actually quite unfair, right? But of course I ada choice. I opt out lah. Because I tak tahu, I tak bagi consent for you to capture my information, I nak opt out. So there must be a way for you to opt out. So when system that you buat and you use biometric. Now for example, I give the example of the building that I masuk, dia tangkap I punya muka. I challenge them. Berapa lama you simpan muka saya? The image of my muka. They say, oh, we erase it every 2 weeks. Mana I tahu dia akan erase tak? Apa dia pakai that one? Is it just for the gate ataupun for other things? I tak tahu, right? But anyway, if I can say I don't want. I tak pergi building tu. I don't want to see my customer in that building. So maybe I ajak customer tu, I tak mau pergi office you. I pergi lain tempat. So this is some of the things that kalau you nak pakai AI, you need to get consent of the customer here. Give them an option to opt out. That is very important. Kalau dia tak nak share the information, and you're going to feed the data, especially kalau you akan pakai data tu untuk train your AI. It is very, very important that you dapat consent. Betul. Anything leak, so you have to be careful. That's why I said that you punya IC, your IC number, your address, your telephone number it's actually not even private. It's all over on the internet. So dulu I actually wrote, I went to speak on a webinar. Last time, I pernah tak dapat cari nama saya. That means I would go to Google search. I cannot find my profile. I cannot find my name. But once I actually spoke at the webinar, habis. My muka all keluar. Now kalau you search Lee Whiting, you akan dapat, not just LinkedIn, you boleh dapat some of the things that I've done before because ada article with my name inside. Okay. Tak apa. At least boleh opt out. Okay, fail to. Actually, they are responsible. So you have to challenge. That's why Europe ada their Privacy Act, right? Because they kena delete. Text into video, the auto captioning, no? Is it? So we actually have a solution where you translate. Oh, Sora bukan. Ni suara bukan kamu. Yeah. So there's a lot of people there. Oh, thank you. Wow, you're all interested in that. So some of the things when you bought the video, right? Do you think it's damaging? I don't think so. Unless the video is to promote hate speech. Then you kena ada a checkpoint to filter out all the hate punya, those things. So there must be a means for you to be able to do that, to say that, yes, you can convert text to video, tetapi you kena be safe. Jangan generate persons like those deep fakes and all that, that is not good. Yeah, okay. The other one is incorporating privacy design, smart. This one is a bit, I think that this one very popular kat some countries. Dia punya fridge, dia boleh predict apa you need to buy. Telur tak ada lah, milk tak ada lah, semua tu, Now, is that bad or good? Yes, it's very helpful for us, but it is something that we need to opt in and we need to protect. That means this is notifying to us, but it is not shared to other people. Unless you want to share with the app. For example, I want to share with my grocer. Dia send the data to me. So, I tak payah order eggs because dia tahu I tak ada, I low on eggs or low on milk. They auto akan send the thing to me. Actually, there's certain things like that. There are app macam tu, okay? Now, geolocation that predict local foot traffic pattern. Now, sometimes this is very useful to price the property, or price how valuable is that shop lot, let's say that retail lot in a place, right? You boleh charge because you boleh predict the foot traffic ataupun how do you drive foot traffic. Now, it is good when it's anonymous. Tapi kalau they track you, do you think you like it? Yeah? Okay, that is different, So you must make sure that you track human traffic, tapi you tak tahu who are the humans. Now, the other one is a therapy act that processes records of psychological issue. Please be very, very careful, Yes, the information is secret, but like one of the attendees kata, kalau somebody leak at internet, it is there forever. Yeah? Okay, so these are like this kind of app must be very careful of how they process the data of the person because you are capturing very, very sensitive data which might be misused. Now, this data might need to be captured because you want to buat some, you want to train the AI to recognize certain pattern ataupun whatever or predict what will happen to the person when they start to behave this way. Tetapi you must protect the privacy of the person when you use this data. Now, the other one is of course upload the high standards of this. For example, in order to recognize certain things, you need to have good quality data. You need to have good you need to have good people also, scientists. For example, emotion detection too normally is sentiment. Okay juga, but if you want to recognize whether a person is down because mungkin ada psychological problem. Now that is to me a bit of a no-no. Kalau you nak tahu people are happy when they talk to you, yes lah, you want to pick up because normally, especially when you're call center, kalau you pakai bot to recognize the person talking to you, whether the person happy ke tak happy, you can either recognize from the voice or the face, Now, the other one, of course, this is the one. Sign of clinical depression. Yes, mungkin they help you. But sometimes we get into depression juga. We're not really depressed. Tetapi maybe that day something happened to us and kita depressed. Now, we don't want people to label us as depressed, right? Okay. Now, this one, deepfake. This one is so excellent. Scientific excellence is very good. People boleh generate apa-apa deepfake. Tetapi how do you use this? Ini susah. Kalau you nak generate movie, that is good, right? Kalau let's say you tak ada actor tu sakit ke, you tak boleh, you nak buat movie cepat-cepat ke, boleh buat deepfake. So the actors are all generated from that actual actor that tak boleh be there. Maybe dia ada accident ke. That one is okay, right? Tetapi kalau you use it for fraud, scam, you tahu, right? Or illegal means. Okay. Now the last one is that make available. Now, made available to everyone. Now, some of these things, right, Google actually like to give things away. So if let's say the AI is beneficial for mankind and we think that the general public boleh pakai, sometimes it's given away for free. Yeah. Of course, there are certain limitations on the free edition. For example, the data that they train on is collected by you because you are the product. Yeah, you are the data. Tetapi kalau you use the enterprise version of it, then dia tak sama, because the data that they train the AI on is actually internal enterprise data. We do have sessions to talk about like how do you train the AI, not today. Yeah, you are the product. But any freemium, anything that's free, app, be careful. Yeah. Okay. So what happens is that kalau you, let's say even translate, I think I did one webinar on translate. Now the data that you want to train your AI with, yes, you need to train it with maybe data that is at large. So a lot of these models are trained with data that is public. Tetapi in order to make it relevant for your organization, please train it using only your enterprise data to enhance the model. Yeah, jangan just rely on public data, because there's a lot of misinformation out there. You train wrongly, you bought wrong decision. So this is very important. Now, the 4 things that you tak boleh pakai AI for. I hope that you follow this principle. Yeah, likely to cause overall harm, cause injury, violate any internationally accepted norms, contravenes with international law and human rights. Now, these 4 tak boleh, yeah? And I'll explain what these are, yeah? Okay. All right. Technologies that cause harm. Apa tu? Weapon lah, yeah? So you use AI to create weapon to cause injury. Sorry, the previous one, yeah? Okay, sorry, yeah? Technology that cause overall harm. So you use AI to hurt people, to target people, follow people so that you can shoot them. Tak boleh, ya? Okay. Drone yang follow a person to shoot them. Yeah. Okay, yes. That's why even because robotics has been around a long time. So AI itself is pretty new. So they have to start having, these principles are not new in Google, yeah? Tetapi they form a basis of how we can use AI, and it will evolve. So some of these things, right, hopefully the government, people who adopt AI will think about this really, yeah? Overall harm, yeah? To human, to whatever. Now, technologies that are weapons or intended to cause a facility injury, as I mentioned before, yeah? Tak boleh. Now, the third one is surveillance. Remember, I give you an example of surveillance. Kalau you nak monitor the people in your office, tapi you monitor buat apa? Is it that you will, because sometimes a lot of people, I think when people work from home, ini pernah. When people work from home, right, they actually monitor you. They under app to monitor you, right? Tetapi sometimes dia macam, if the intention, right, is to, I tak tahu, is to make sure you tak tipu ke? Mungkin lah. That one maybe is not unacceptable. Tetapi kalau dia detect something else about you, mungkin tak boleh. Okay, or any surveillance that you monitor when you are not allowed to. For example, Airbnb, yeah, betul. Airbnb yang monitor the tenant. Do you think, and they want to do something, but that one is just camera, right? But there could be other things, as I mentioned before. The identify if you are thief. You are this person, and I want to identify you as a thief. Now that is actually valid. Kalau I boleh monitor you, your movement saja. Okay. I want to make sure that you are working the 8 hours that I ask you to work, yeah? Ataupun you tak cheat in the exam. So sekarang, when you actually take online exam that is proctored, right? A lot of it is actually supplemented by AI. Because they don't want you to cheat, right? Because you do those sana, you turn on the camera, but your eyes, the way your eyes look, are you actually looking at the screen ataupun you looking at a secondary screen? They will detect. Or they detect noise ke, movement ke, or the how you move. Are you actually talking to somebody? So those are the things that they because they want to prevent you from cheating. Now, it is not unacceptable because you are preventing people from cheating in exam. Yeah, okay, but it all depends. So sometimes when we do surveillance, right, the surveillance must be of a purpose that doesn't violate any norm. Yeah, okay. Now the other one is contravene international law and human rights. For example, denying people visa or refugee status based on certain things. Let's say, for example, your background macam tu, blah, blah, blah. You have relatives, you are married to so-and-so. It's in a way violation of international law and human rights, right? Because you target a person without understanding the circumstances of that person, because you just use AI to filter the person out. Remember I mentioned before, you are violating certain international law and human rights. Let's say, for example, I use AI to scan a CV. I nampak orang ni is a woman, tidak kerja for 10 tahun, umur sudah 45 tahun. Let's say lah, okay? You use some of those keywords, AI, to cari this kind of information, and you say, this application I reject. Do you think this is a violation of human rights? I think so. Betul tak? It's a violation of you as a right to get a job. Because you tak tanya pun, mengapa dia tak kerja 10 tahun? Mengapa dia kena balik kerja at 45 tahun? If, let's say, for example, kalau AI ada filter my CV when I join Google, habis. Okay. Let's say, for example, dia pakai some of this principle. Because when I joined Google, number one, I did not have cloud background. I tak tahu cloud pun. Number two, I was of a certain age where I'm above the normal age of all Googlers. Yeah. And then, I mean, those two are already macam, oh, and then she is macam, dia rasa, oh, this person orang sudah tua, tak boleh belajar teknologi baru. Now, these are some of the bias we should not build into our AI. Yeah? So when we do things like that, we have to think about how we, as I mentioned before, really kita nak focus on whether our data that we train things on ataupun the filters or the model that kita pakai is betul-betul unbiased. Yeah? Okay. So this is something that we will not do. Yeah. Now, so these are the summary of all the principles that Google ada. Yeah. And now we'll talk about responsible AI practice. Yeah. Okay. So responsible AI practice, right, is actually very much it's actually very much in place already. It's just that we need to be more conscious about how we practice software and quality engineering, yeah, especially when it relates to ML, machine learning, yeah. Okay. When we design an AI product, it should be a human-centered design. It is not what the AI can do for me, but what I want as an outcome as a human, yeah, to help me. Betul tak? Yeah, because ultimately you are the user of this product. Somebody is using that product. It should be designed with the human in mind and not how fast the machine can do something. For example, the CV screening, right? Sometimes I get hundreds of CV. I pun pening kepala, and I also apologize to people that actually buat application punya, they apply to a job that I advertise, and I tak dapat go to your CV because I am only human. I bukan AI. Okay. Yes and no. Yes, it is modeled after human thinking. Tetapi the data also determines how the AI will evolve. The model will evolve. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yes. A lot. Yeah. We can see a lot of creative. Yes, betul. People who pass off creative content as their own, they actually plagiarize other people punya. Betul juga. And generate content that tak betul, that are biased, that are based on wrong data. Betul. Let's say they generate some hate articles semua tu, yeah. Okay, betul. Actually, the Gen AI, right, is very common now. Semua orang pakai. I pun suka pakai. Tetapi I also be careful how I use it, yeah. Okay. Now, this is some of the things here. For example, human-centric, remember I talked about the consent? You cannot build in disclosure. How are people using the data? For example, you are the AI, you collect the data to retrain. Remember, AI must be trained all the time. Dia bukan satu time buat, they're okay, no. Dia kena retrain, yeah. So then this is the one. Use AI and augmentation. Remember, I talked about this. Do not use AI to replace the human for certain use cases here. Use it to help you to be more efficient, to be more productive. You kena ada dapat feedback from the human to say that something is biased or the model salah. They predict something salah. You need to have a mechanism where you boleh buat feedback, yeah. And of course, the whole design that you kena ada different, when people testing it must be from different diverse users and different use cases, yeah. So that you know whether your data yang you use it to train the AI is cukup, tak cukup, bias or whatever, yeah. So you need to test it. The important part is the testing and making sure that, especially when this has to deal with a decision that will impact humans. Yeah. Kalau dia very straightforward, extract data lah semua, that one is not really macam, or generate some marketing material, mungkin tak bad sangat lah, yeah. Okay. But things that impact human. Yeah. Okay. So I'll just skip this. That I already talked about this. Yeah. You need to have the multiple matrix to assess whether the training betul tak betul. So I'm going to click straight away. So this one is to include feedback from user here, adjust certain, so these are some of the things here. And you want to make sure that all the different type of data will have the same sort of outcome or performance here. And it must be appropriate for your context or goals. Let's say, for example, you sell to a demographic. Let's say you are selling something or creating a product that will be used by children. Now, of course, you must collect data that is relevant in order for children, right? You can collect data that is meant for adult, older generation too, because they tak betul. Your data tak betul and all that, like what appeals to children and stuff like that. So make sure that the data, so these are the data that is useful for the goals of what you're trying to do. So you should not be using data. I know all of us ada banyak data, tetapi to identify the right data to be used in the training your AI, right, is very difficult. Now that is actually one of the most difficult part of ML, yeah. So machine learning, because is that you need to identify the data or the features, we call it, in order to create the labels or the outcome. Yeah. Okay. Now, so I talk about this. Okay. This one banyak important. Yeah. I think everybody. This is analytics. Kalau you all are in analytics, you pun I think agree with me. Yeah. Data should be accurate, bukan data yang sudah lama. Now, some data is not accurate either because they are outdated, because they are not relevant anymore. Yeah, ataupun they are incorrect because people put in wrong information. Now, how many times you fill out a form, right? Like you betul-betul put in the real data, macam your age. I tak put my age, sorry ya. I tak put my age pun. Sometimes I tak put my gender pun. I tak put gender yang betul. So data tak accurate, dia akan belajar salah. Yeah. Now data and data samples must be representative of a bigger population. Yeah. So it's not just collecting data from people from this age group to this age group. It could be that you need to collect data from rural, urban, age group, education level, semua tu. Let's say lah, for example. So you need to collect the data so that it covers the whole demographic. You jangan kata, oh, just because this group macam ni, you just make a conclusion. This is the conclusion, yeah? Tak. Now, training serving skill. Now, this is the most, macam, this happen all the time. I think the people who are actually in machine learning, they understand. Sometimes the training data is skewed so that it learns the wrong thing and it macam the results are skewed. Yeah, so you have to be mindful of that, like whether it's skewed. So it shouldn't happen. Yeah. The other one is the data and the model should be simple. Jangan start with something very complicated. I know we all like, wow, we want to do the greatest thing, little things. Yeah. So for example, the features that you pakai, the fields that you feed into the model must be predictive of the data you're trying to predict. Now, if you pakai the data that's not relevant, you're just wasting your time. Yeah, it's wasting storage. As mentioned before, the data should have no or minimal bias towards something. For example, I told you the story about the person from Africa. Now, I think that this is my bias, right? Next time I see satu orang that is dark skin, looks like he's from Africa, sangat tinggi, I assume that dia ialah a foreign student, and this person likes to drink. Now, this is really bad, right? This is bias. And if I keep getting data like this, yes, all these foreign students, we get a lot of foreign students and a lot of them get arrested for drunk driving, blah, blah, blah. But we never saw the other side is that some of these people are not even from Africa. We call it bias. We don't use the word, it's a prejudice, but it's still an unconscious bias, we call it. Yeah, unconscious bias. We make decisions based on certain things that we believe in. Yeah. For example, I mentioned, you all tak tahu, I just say, it's my those things. So let's say for example, kalau you jumpa satu orang that looks like from Africa, actually maybe he's American, he's a European, and maybe he already 5 generation Malaysian. Tapi so happens that he still maintain his looks macam orang Africa. Yeah, let's say. So kita collect data macam tak betul lah. Yeah, betul. So it is very important in AI, kita jangan ada, I know it's very hard, prejudice, bias, memang ini ialah some of the most difficult things that kita ada because kita buat conclusion on something. That was an interesting observation that my colleagues made. Yeah, I do in the office which is open, and suddenly there was a remark that one of my male colleagues kata, I think, do you know that your desk is the only desk that tak ada cermin? It doesn't look like a desk of a lady, a woman. I say, huh? You mean all ladies kena ada mirror on the... You go and look which table. So when they come, nobody will know that this is your table because it just looks like ordinary table. Now, there's a bias, kan? Because there will be people who tak ada cermin on the table and it's occupied by a lady. Maybe ada cermin and it's occupied by a guy. Ada guys juga, dia macam metrosexual people, dia memang very conscious about dia punya hairstyle lah, dia punya looks lah. Okay, sorry. Just digressing, yeah? Okay. So, the other one is that, for example, kita sudah cover this, yeah? And then, of course, limitation, yeah? Do not understand that your data set might be limited in terms of coverage, and you cannot communicate that your data is not complete, ataupun you only have 5 years of data, you only took a sample from Tiga University or whatever, yeah? And you need to tell the user who's using your system that there may be limitation in the model that you're using to do the AI. Yeah. So therefore, you need to tell them that you tak cukup, and over time you are going to enrich data, and it's going to get better and better. Now the relationship and causation is that they give an example. Betul. Alamak. Thank you very much. Why you are the cermin on your desk? Okay. Actually, that's what happened also. There are certain desks, right? The position, dia tak nampak orang masuk from the... Let's say they sit near the door. Because they don't want to be frightened, you know. Let's say, for example, ada orang masuk, dia nak tengok siapa masuk. Betul? I think I should do that juga. My mirror should face my boss office. So when my boss masuk, I tahu. Okay, thank you very much for the suggestion. Yeah? Okay, actually you're coming quite close to the end, yeah? Right, test. Now, that was a whole section that I wanted to do, but I think that I may not have enough time. So, definitely you can test. You can avoid integration test, see whether there's any drift. This is standard, no? This is macam data analytics, AI. This is standard, yeah? But it gets more and more important kalau you are creating AI products, yeah? So iterative test, so on here. So I need just quickly go through here. And of course, this is basic ML punya principle. Continue to monitor and update your system after deployment. There's no such thing as deploy already, you just abandon it. Let it run, yeah? Because over time, it will drift. Yeah, the model will drift. You akan dapat the wrong thing. Yeah? Okay, yeah. Okay, let me just quickly do this. Now, so this is just a summary of what we have just talked about some of the responsible AI practice that kita need to keep in mind, yeah, when we are developing AI product. Because now we are very focused on creating product that other AI elements inside our product. It's not like standard punya application development anymore. Okay, so these are some of the things that kita ada tahu, yeah. That means some of the things is that responsible AI, yeah, Google principles, roughly. Kalau you nak ikut, you just want to laugh about it, yeah. But I think it's very true. Responsible, and you need to apply it throughout the life cycle of the whole project. And then, of course, you kena ada governance, checkpoint, transparency, support, and continuous conversation with people that is actually using your system. That means other feedback to say how well the thing is doing, yeah. Okay. So with that, hey, quiz time, yeah? Test you. And just give you 5 minutes, yeah? Which of the following is one of the AI principles? Kalau you nak type pun boleh dalam chat, yeah? I bagi a few minutes. Ada orang nak nak try, yeah? Wow. Okay. Wow, good man. I'm not losing people. Okay. All right. It's actually upholding the high standards of scientific. Only 4 question, jangan risau, yeah? Okay. Second question. Which is correct in regards in applying responsible AI? A, yeah, every stage. I know C seems to be the thing that, you know, seems to be answer. I know a lot of you answer C. Yeah? Okay, third question. Organizations are developing their own AI principle to reflect their mission and values. Yeah? Okay, which are the common themes? Yeah, betul. Wah, yeah, pay attention. Thank you very much. Yeah. Last question. Why is responsible AI practice important in an organization? Betul, see. Yeah. It actually builds trust with customer and stakeholders. Betul, betul. Yeah. Okay, with that, I've actually ended today's session. So this is just a glimpse of some of the Gen AI related topics. So I wanted to start with the principles, but we actually have classes around Gen AI. If you want to learn how to build chatbot, I think somebody wanted to know how to build chatbot. We also have some other AI related training that you know. So we are very more than happy to share with you our upcoming, and we also want to welcome, since everybody's interested in AI. Kalau kita buat AI as a traditional way, it's sangat boring. I will tell you, some of you will fall asleep. Except that if you are really data scientist, somebody who's passionate about machine learning, you suka the model, you suka all the terms. But for the majority of us, right, we just want to make sure that when we adopt AI in our application, kita nak tahu the basic of what we need to practice and how we can use Gen AI to help us to create new applications. I will tell you, it's very amazing. We actually have Gen AI for developers. You don't even need to know how to do coding. They akan teach you how to buat coding. Apa language you nak, dia tahu juga, yeah. So we have those offerings in Google Cloud juga. So if you actually are very interested to know some of these topics, just drop it in our feedback form and then let us know. So I'm going to actually hand it back to my colleague Ain to actually close off this session, yeah. But thank you everybody for staying. Wow, amazing. I started with 30 plus people, I ended with 60 plus. So I hope that you found this session very, very useful. I think we are going to be posting this on our OneTech YouTube channel, right? So for people who missed the beginning, ataupun you think that this is very useful, ada isi je, yeah. If you fill out the feedback form. Okay? Yes. Okay, over to you, Ain.